So there's a lot of talk in the prepper community about who you should trust, who you shouldn't trust, how much information you should give out. And it's really a tough situation. It's really kind of a fine line that you need to walk on an individual basis depending on who you're talking to. We've done a couple podcasts about this, and in the past I've even written an article called Peeling Back the Onion and Learning How to Read People. And I kind of want to go through that a little bit. You know, the things that we'll do today, the things that we do these days, not necessarily, you know, in an SHTF situation where you run across somebody. That's more of learning how to read people, and that's something we should all do quite a bit of research on as well, is learning people's tells and learning, you know, how people might be trying to be deceptive to us and all of that. But as far as today goes, it's pretty tough not to give out information to everybody. I mean, you can't be completely sealed up. We've got people we work with, we've got family and friends that are going to eventually, they're just going to know some stuff that we might not want them to know. So we need to figure out kind of where to put our trust in some of these people. And like I said, it's like an onion. Onions have different layers, and you've got the outside layer, which is basically anybody we meet. We're cordial with. We have somebody we meet at the grocery store or something. We either totally ignore them, or if they come up and say hello or they ask a question, we're nice to them. And that's the people that you meet, that first conversation. You're not going to really get a good idea about somebody because people can give you that fake kind of feel, I suppose. They can make you feel like they're this way or that way, but until you get to really know them, you don't really know what that person is like. So that's kind of the outside layer, and that's the layer where you can get a feel for somebody, ask probing questions, and kind of figure out where they might stand. The second layer is where you've had a few encounters with them, and it's borderline kind of friendship. You're digging a little bit deeper, but that first layer from the outside layer, that first inside layer, you don't really want to be giving a lot of information out. That's more of the layer where you're looking to get more information from them than you're giving out. So that layer's, you should be really careful. The most important layer, and the third layer, is what I call kind of the gateway layer, because this is where you're becoming good friends with somebody. You're more willing to give out that information. You're more willing to talk about certain stuff. But this layer can be pretty dangerous too, because relationships in this category are pretty volatile. Meaning that, you know, they can end really quickly, and it's not going to matter to you one way or another, really. This could be, you know, you're dating someone that you've only been dating for a month or so. This could be a friend at work that you've gone out and had beers with or hung out with a couple times, and you know you're starting to build that relationship with them. But that can change pretty quickly, and depending on why and how that relationship changes, it could be, you know, information you give out to that person could be actually used against you. So that layer you want to be really careful with. And then the fourth layer is what I call the core layer, and this is people that you've been friends with for a long time. This is friends that you completely, absolutely trust 100%. This is your wife or spouse that you've been with for a while, and you know that they are with you regardless. This layer is still a bit dangerous because, especially with relationships, sometimes they can end pretty badly. So that person is going to know a whole lot about you. So there's contingencies you would have to take in an event like that. Say you did get a divorce, it was a pretty messy divorce. You would have to change your plans all around, and because whatever they know about you, you've got to make sure that what they think they know about you isn't what they know about you. That's a pretty difficult situation, but the inner core is the person that you are going to trust. Lisa is that person in my inner core. My direct family members, my kids, whether I like it or not, are in my inner core because they know everything about me. I've got one or two friends who are in that inner core that know everything about me. There are a lot of people right outside of that know quite a bit about me or think they know quite a bit about me. But as far as that inner core, there are just a couple people that I've known, one since high school, one that is not going to, I'm not going to have to worry about that. He might think I'm a little off my rocker sometimes, and that's okay, but I'm not going to have to worry about anything dangerous with him. But the reason that I like to categorize people and make sure I know where I stand with them is because in any sort of SHTF event, as it initially starts, I'm going to have to think about people that are going to be around, people that might be coming and knocking on my door. So I need to be ready for stuff like that. And if that means I need to be gone, then that means I need to be gone. And does that mean I tell certain people where I'm going if I'm gone? All of that stuff. But I think you need to know, plan for people that you really don't want showing up at your front door to show up at your front door. Plan how to answer questions to people that might be on that first layer, that know that you're maybe into preparedness, or you're into guns, or anything like that, into bushcraft. Plan on knowing how to answer those questions without giving away too much information. There's a lot of people out there that will just talk way too much, and I'm all for it. I'm listening. If you want to talk, you go for it. You talk. But there are people out there that talk way too much about stuff to people that they shouldn't be telling it to, and you can't afford to be one of those people. But if you're around one of those people, take it in, listen to it. But anyway, I just wanted to kind of mention that. Think about people these days that you encounter, and that could be at work, that could be at school, that could be your, just friendships, going out to the park, going hiking, all that stuff. Think about those people and be cautious about how much information you give out, and be deliberate about what information you give out, and try to get as much information as them. And before you jump to that next level, make sure that you're as positive as you can be. You can never be 100% positive, but be as positive as you can be, that they are going to be an asset to you if something were to happen down the line. Anyway, I'll leave a link to that article, the Peel Back the Onion and Learn How to Read People article. It's also got a couple links to a couple of things about people's tells and learning how to read people, and stuff that could be important in an SHTF event. But anyway, I appreciate everyone. If you haven't, make sure and subscribe below, and we'll talk to you later.